Jedediah, Vinny, for you, you're a mother, okay? Hardly married. How do you feel with what does the interest rate hike do to you? Like, how do you and Jeremy process it when you're talking about it at night?
I mean, truly, I'm listening with open ears right now, because this is not, when you introed this segment and you read all that stuff, it sounded like a foreign language to me. It took Adam, seriously, I'm not immersed in this stuff. Like, my first question was, when I heard this, I was like, I'm curious what your response would be if somebody came on, because people view the Fed as the enemy. They're like, this is just, it's like a foreign entity to a lot of people. My question was like, what if there was no Fed? What would happen? People are curious about that. If the Fed didn't exist, what would happen to the market? What would happen? Not right away. What would happen in 5 years? Say the Fed, it's gone. What happens?
The market would decide, and currency would need to be backed up by something. So you would need to have the currency backed up by a gold or a something that is.
Would that ultimately be a good thing, though, or a bad thing?
Oh no, it would be a good thing. It would be a good thing. But if you ask the people that are in it, they would say it's in too deep for that to go away. Yeah. That's not going away today because we're so in too deep. There's so many people that are saying, end the Fed, Ron Paul.
Yeah, right.
That's
all this other stuff.
No question about it. Of course they're getting, but here's the part you got to realize. So to the average person, when rates go up, prices go down. Very simple. When rates go down, prices go up. So $1 million loan at 6%, the payment is going to be a different. Matter of fact, pull up the calculator, mortgage calculator. Best way to show it right now, to see exactly what this works out. We've talked about this before, but it's very simple. Just type in mortgage calculator. Go to, right there. Put $1 million, okay, and go to 6%. Okay, what's the payment? $59.96. Now go to
$6,000.
Now, so how many people can afford a $6,000 payment right now?
Not me.
Not a lot of people. So go to $500,000, 6%. Okay, $5,000. It's what? Roughly $3,000. That's $5 million. That's $3,000. Okay. So now take the 6%. So remember that number, $3,000.
That's at 6%.
That's at 6%. Take that 6 and make that 3.
It's going to be $2,108. Yeah, exactly.
$700 savings. So now somebody would have said, I can afford a $3,000 payment.
Yeah.
Increase that 3% to $600,000 loan. Make $700,000 loan, $700K. So watch that. You could have bought a $700,000 house at 3% because payment's $2,951, but now you can only buy a $500,000 house at 6% because it's the same payment. So if you bought your house at $700,000, unfortunately, the market is saying it's worth roughly now $500,000. And people are not going to believe that right now because they're going to sit around. But 6 to 12 months, the market's going to say that. Why? I consult a lot of guys that run real estate companies and mortgage companies. Here's what they'll tell you. The inventory of homes for sale just blew up. The other day, I talked to one of the top guys in LA that sells exotics. I said, what car was impossible to get last year that's everywhere today? He said, a unique Lamborghini, if you wanted to buy this a year ago, at any time, the market only had 2 or 3 of them. He says, there's 59 of them for sale right now. What does that tell you? Let me say that one more time. A Lambo that you could own, there was only 2 or 3 of them for sale last year because the Bitcoin people, everybody was buying them. Mortgage people, real estate, just buying them.
No.
But today there's 59. So what does it mean? So it means you went to a club and you're at an army base. This army base has 100 soldiers, 98 men, 2 women. What happened there? The attention those 2 are getting, which is what happens in a military base, that's the only 2 options you got. And 98 guys are trying to get with these 2 girls. Go to another military base. It's 100 soldiers. Now there's 58 girls to 42 men. That's the base you want to be at.
Yeah, that's what I'm hanging. Let's go. I'm about to enroll in the military right now.
But by the way, if you're the guy, you want to be at the unit with 58 girls.
Of course.
But if you're the girl, you want to be at which unit?
The one, 2.
You want to be at the barracks with only 2 girls.
Exactly.
So if you're a seller, last year benefited you. If you're a buyer, today's the buyer's market. So what's going to become critical today is patience. And here's what's going to happen to the seller. Hey, sellers, if you're listening, let me give you guys some feedback. Take it to do whatever you want to do with this. You know how you're stuck on the fact that you think your house is worth $1 million and you're trying to get $1 million today? Don't make that mistake. You're going to lower that price from $1 million to $900 to $800. Then you're going to sell it at $700 a year and a half from now. Here's my suggestion to you. Let everybody else have that same house in the market that the comps are showing at $1 million. You put 910. You put 910, no one's looking at all the other houses. You're going to get 5, 6, 7 different offers. You'll end up selling it at 930, 940. In your mind, you're thinking you lost 60. Believe me, you didn't lose 60. Mm-hmm. You made 140. Okay, because a year from now, you're going to sell that thing for $800,000. This is not a time to be greedy if you're a seller. This is a time to be greedy if you're a buyer. Greed hasn't changed. It's just changed if you're the buyer versus the seller. That's all interest rates matter. And by the way, Goldman Sachs just said that they're going to raise the interest rate 18 more times.
18? For how long? Well, how long of a period?
This is the next 2 years.
Jesus.
Oh, fantastic.
Great.
So, by the way, Goldman Sachs gets shit wrong. So I'm not telling you they're the Messiah, but they're Goldman Sachs. So they said they're predicting this rate's going to increase 18 more times. And by the way, even with all the interest rate hikes that they've done the last 6 months, okay, all the interest rate hikes that they've done the last 6 months, Tyler, has that slowed down inflation the last 6 months? So watch what I just said. Let me say this to you. Even because interest rates you increase, so inflation goes down.
Right.
Inflation goes up if interest rates are down. So you try to control it. It's like, hey guys, let's keep increasing interest rates so inflation stays low, right? Here's how scary the economy is right now. Even though they keep increasing the interest rates, hoping inflation goes down, inflation is still going up. Mm-hmm. Meaning this is not flipping. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like,
Yep.
So 3/4, because you have to assume that if they just raised it by 3/4, because last week everybody on Twitter was messaging saying inflation went to 8.6%, 40-year high, 40-year high, 40-year high, and Jimmy Carter officially is a more popular president than Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. And everybody from the left, Don Lemon the other day is interviewing, what's her name, his new replacement for Jen Psaki, saying, hey, you can't tell me. It's like, well, why could you ask a question like that?
Yeah.
How could you ask a question like that? So now the administration's talking to the Fed and saying, hey, you got to increase the rates maybe 3/4 of a point, not just a quarter, because that didn't do shit. Because we got to have, because what they're hoping for is in July for them to say inflation dropped from 8.6 to 8.5%. They're hoping that happens. I will tell you, it should happen. But if it doesn't happen, this shit's a lot uglier than people think it is.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.